Hey guys, it's Elisa Wallace and it's another frequently asked questions. Today, I asked you guys lots of questions and I'm going to answer them kind of while we're filming, so that's kind of fun. But before I do that, big thank you to all of the subscribers already and Patreons, and if you haven't subscribed, please do, and also make sure to click the bell down at the bottom, because as well, I think I know, hopefully you know, that way you get notifications of the most recent videos. We put a question on Facebook and for frequently asked questions so I can answer you guys. So I just figured it'd be fun to kind of just scroll through and answer. So one question that I feel like I've answered a lot is how, it's kind of a multi one. So how I get my horses kind of connected through the hind leg, over the back, building also top line strength and stifle strength. So poles. Poles are your friend. You can work over poles every single day. So I tend to set poles. Canter poles probably are the easiest at 9 foot apart, and I put a lot of poles out. And that's really good. It gets your eyes sharp, and it just helps your horses create strength with low impact. And I also put a lot of trot poles. My trot poles are set at 6 feet. Again, you might have to play with the size. And also raising the cavaletti. So incorporating that in my flat work every day, incorporating a lot of transition work, that really does a really good job of building the strength of the horse. How do you find your thoroughbreds and what do you look for in them? So Facebook is kind of a problem because there's lots of thoroughbreds on Facebook. You've got your sellers of Amy Paulus, Jessica Redmond. I've gotten a couple from them. And it's great because you get to see the horses do jogs, or on Jessica's they get to go free. They free jump them sometimes, so it's kind of a really good place to kind of get an idea. For me, I kind of don't mind a quirkier horse if it's going to be a personal horse, but I'm supposed to like sell horses too, so it's good to find your kind of open-minded, good-minded thoroughbreds that are quiet for the more amateur riders. You want a nice horse that's got big shoulders, built uphill, and is nice and swingy through the gate. So that's kind of just like a general of what I look for. Who is my favorite trainer that I've trained with, or who would I love to train with in the future? And who's my absolute favorite eventer? Okay. Probably the eventer that I watched and studied the most as a child was Mark Todd, because he's a legend. Like, he's amazing. So I watched, back when I was younger, 20 years of Mark Todd, and guess what? Mark Todd is still heading for the Olympics. He's definitely one of my favorites to watch. One of my favorite trainers I've trained with, Karen O'Connor and Lucinda Green are kind of up there for who I want to train with in the future. As far as event trainers go, I also like to train with like natural horsemen too. Natural horseman wise, I think I would enjoy, I've started to learn a lot from Tristan Tucker. He's kind of cool. He does upper level dressage over in the Netherlands, and he really incorporates the natural horsemanship and groundwork. So really respect that, and I've learned a lot from his method. Eventing wise, Mark Todd. If I could have a lesson with Toddy, that would be pretty awesome. And also, probably our most recently, Piggy French. Piggy French has been pretty inspiring lately. She's worked really hard, and I really admire that. Okay, saddle fitting for your off-the-track thoroughbreds. What types of saddles, half pads? So, I have custom saddles. That's actually the brand. They're not just custom, but they're called custom saddles. They've done a really good job of fitting my horses. Probably one of my favorite pads I like to use is the Eco Gold. This is the Equalizer pad. It's pretty thin, which is nice. You don't want anything too bulky. And of course, Eco Gold does an amazing job with their design of the non-slip. And then another go-to is your Mattis pad, which that works really well too because it's wool. So if you have a sensitive backed horse, you can actually put this under your saddle pad. And Eco Gold also has saddle pads kind of with a half pad built in them with the wool on the bottom. So I have lots of those saddle pads. for my horses if they just need a little bit of cushion. But those are kind of my go-to for saddles and half pads. The thing about the off-the-track thoroughbreds when you're getting them first off the track is that their body is going to change. So one thing that I really is really helpful with the custom saddles is they're all wool flocked. So I have my awesome saddle fitter, Nancy Barty, and she comes and makes sure they're fitted. And so as they build their muscles, because they're going to change, their backs are going to change, their muscles completely change. So you have to be constantly making sure, probably I say every couple of months, like every 3 to 4 months, I have my saddles checked. How do you put together a successful time management schedule? Current horses, new Mustangs, husband, friends, family, training sessions, travel, new OTTBs, stable management, and still have time for life. So, what's the definition of a life? Luckily, I have very patient friends who accept me for staying busy, but basically it's waking up early every day and doing the horses. I try to be better about being more. My husband's really the one that's good at like planning and wanting a schedule, and I tend to, horses make you go with the flow a little bit. It is important to take that time and to make the time. I think it's good for both me and my horses to have a break every now and then, but it can be a little overwhelming if you're not careful, for sure. We break it down into goals. Thankfully, I have the help of my husband of what my goals are for that year. And then we go through and how to attain those goals and kind of try to streamline it that way so I can make sure I can stay efficient with my time. And I need to get a little bit better about spending it with friends and kind of stepping away from work. But again, this is my life. There's no such thing as work-life balance in horses. It's an obsession, though. It is good to step away, but the funny part is like vacations tend to cause me anxiety because just the thought of a vacation, causes me anxiety. But it's good. I like it to some point. Is how do you stay motivated to work with many of these youngsters, especially when it seems no progress is being made? When you feel like you're not making progress, sometimes you need to take a step back. Oftentimes the difficult horses have physical ailments that are bothering them, like ulcers is one of the biggest things that we combat. I feel like sometimes when you feel like you're not progressing as quickly as you would like, you have to let the little successes, even the smallest amount, like if you're able to bring your horse in and they behave and are relaxed, and hey, that's a success. So staying positive and not trying to get down that road as to, oh, we're not making progress. Probably also one thing I do when I feel like I'm kind of hitting a wall is I will try to learn more. I have been following the Tristan Tucker, like the TRT method. I've watched him for a long time and really respect the things that he does. And so that's been really fun to kind of add and learn from that. And doing new things. Like sometimes if you feel like you're stuck, then go do something different. Like, I don't know, ride your horse bareback, or go on a trail ride, or go to a team pinning. Like that's really fun, playing with cows. Sometimes just break it up. Sometimes I feel like it's very easy to get in a very focused, direct thing. Sometimes you just need to take a step back and look at the bigger picture, and you just have to stay patient. Like I've had people before ask me, well, my horse is really hot and it's 2 weeks off the track. And I'm like, it's only 2 weeks off the track. Just give it time. Sometimes they need the time and consistency and patience of coming around. It just takes a while. It's frustrating, I know, but like a year or two sometimes with some horses, they just need it. Have faith sometimes, and making sure that you have a support system around you. So if that's another trainer, like I call Lainey sometimes, Lainey Ashker. I give her a call when I've hit a wall sometimes and pick her brain, or my dad, or if you have a trainer, or if you have any other friends, picking each other's brain, that's a good way of kind of helping push through that wall a little bit. How did you get Simply Price's tail to look like it did at Burley? So Johnny's got a weave. He does have a fake tail. I think it's a pound, actually. He has a very weenie tail. He is bad about sticking his butt on his hay net and causes me anxiety. He's always done this, by the way. I talked to his breeders, and he always stuck his bum on like buckets or the wall. So sometimes you'll see Johnny tail in certain places. To combat this, he has no hanging buckets in his stall, and he also gets a fake tail. And it's a beautiful fake tail because oftentimes people can't tell it's fake. It's a pound of someone else's horsehair. So thanks for joining me for another Fact Friday. If you haven't subscribed, please do. And a big thank you to all of my current subscribers and Patreons. Yeah, if you thought this was helpful, please make sure to share it. Comment below. And I'll see you guys next time.